Hi guys, and welcome back to Bikes and Laces, where this week I'm going to be speaking to you about how injuries can affect your mental health. First though, if you are new to the channel, then make sure to give us a subscribe and also hit the bell icon so you can be notified of our upcoming videos. We post 3 videos a week and you will often see myself, Chris, or ourselves in a joint video. Also, if you really enjoyed this video, then do give it a thumbs up and make sure to go and check out some of the other content we have on the site as well. Okay, so most sports injuries can be treated or managed without really affecting your day-to-day life. However, there are a lot of injuries out there that can impact you physically but also have an impact on your mental health. So today I want to speak to you a little bit about how injuries can affect your mental health and even some things you can do to help it. Okay, so as you get an injury, you might end up going through a whole series of emotions, especially if it is an injury that means you are no longer able to run or ride. I know this from personal experience, and it's not a particularly nice place to be, especially if you're a person who uses running as a way to help or support your mental health. For me, running is a place where I can go and clear my head, so I tend to find that if ever I can't, I start to really struggle. Some of the feelings that you may experience may be that you feel angry, frustrated. You may even start to go through feelings of just feeling extremely low and sad. And quite often, you might start to feel a little bit helpless, a little bit isolated, and not really sure what to do with yourself. These feelings can start to lead to a lack of motivation, not just in your athletic performances, but it could also impact your day-to-day life. Some other feelings you may experience are the ones that affect your sleep. You may find that you are sleeping a lot less. You may be laying awake anxious at night, or you may find that you are so exhausted and you are so drained that all you want to do is sleep, and you may even find it difficult to wake up. Being injured can also impact what you do with your food. So you may lose your appetite as you spiral downwards into a lot of negative thoughts, or you may even go the other way and start to binge eat. This can be seen as a way of comfort eating, in the sense of, well, I'm not really doing anything else, so why don't I just enjoy that chocolate bar? Other things you may start to feel are stress, especially if, as I say, running is your way of dealing with stress. So going through a lot of these feelings can start to put a negative strain on your day. If you find that you're not eating properly or you're eating too much, then you're really going to affect your energy levels. The same comes from not being able to sleep properly or feeling really lethargic. If you start to lack the necessary energy levels, then you're really going to struggle to find your motivation, not just in being able to go out and run and exercise and train and recover, but also in just getting up and going to work or spending time with family or friends or going and getting those day-to-day jobs done. The flip side of this is if you happen to be someone who results in binge eating as part of a mental health disturbance because of an injury, then you may start to feel guilt. And if you start to feel guilty, then you may want to start and burn it off. However, if you're injured to a point where you can't do exercise, certain exercise, or any exercise, then you are going to start to feel frustrated. This can be very hard to deal with. This can result in one of 2 ways. You might find yourself going right back down the cycle of becoming frustrated or angry, or you may even go the other way of trying to exercise it off and then risk injuring yourself further or putting yourself completely out of action. The more strain you put on your mental health means that you are increasing the risk of discovering factors such as depression, anxiety, or even possibly an eating disorder. Going through these particular feelings can be very hard to deal with, especially if your go-to activity is something that you would use to combat these feelings. So here are a few things that you can do to help you if you are currently in a position where you are struggling with an injury. Okay, first of all, speak to someone. If you have someone that you can speak to, whether it be a friend, a member of the family, your mum, your dad, your partner, your next door neighbour that you're particularly close to, if you feel like you can talk to them, then I would advise you speak to them. The common phrase is, a problem shared is a problem halved. Now, although they may not be able to necessarily do anything about that problem, just being able to speak to them and get this off your chest and get it out into the air makes it a bit easier for you to actually notice what you can do about it. Often when you start to talk about the problems and they become words rather than just thoughts, it's a lot easier to see what would need to be done and what order they would need to go into to see what you can start to do to fix them. Speaking to someone about your feelings and how you're feeling can result in one of two ways. You may find as you talk to them that you can actually solve the problem yourself and you don't really need any input from them. It may go the other way and they may be able to say something or suggest something or even put focus on one particular point that you hadn't picked up on, and that may give you the right nudge just to get yourself started to head into a better direction. Another thing you can do is start to follow a recovery plan. If you have been injured and you've had a diagnosis for your injury, then you may have been given a recovery plan. It may be to do stretches or use the rice method or apply heat. Whatever it is, put it down and follow it. Put it down and follow it like you would a training plan. So we're just going to swap it. We're going to take out the runs, the cycles, the cross training, and we're going to put in on Monday, I'm going to do this, Tuesday this, Wednesday this. And that's what you're going to follow. That's going to become your training plan. Now, okay, it might not be quite as exciting as a training plan, and I'm going to be brutally honest, I would much rather get out and run than sit with a foam roller. However, I also know that if I don't recover my legs properly, I'm not going to be able to get myself back out running as soon. So, treat your recovery plan like a training plan, put it in your diary and follow it. That way you can know what you're working towards, what the next thing is coming up, and you can find that little sense of achievement as you can tick it off. Okay, finally, and this is probably the biggest point. If you are finding that your mental health has started to deteriorate because of your injury and you are finding yourself in a position where you are really struggling, then I would advise seeking professional help. If your mental health has been impacted, there are a couple of places that you can contact where you can seek help. You can pop along to your GP. You could even go and find various charities such as Mind. Mind is a very helpful charity that can point you in the right direction. They are very understanding and extremely helpful people. And although they may not have the answers, just like speaking to someone else, they may be able to isolate and point you in the right direction. Another person you can go to is your GP. This may seem like a bit of a daunting fact and a strange thing for you to want to do, but going to your GP can be a big help. If you would like a little bit of advice on going to your GP, then what I would suggest is make a note of what you're feeling, what you're experiencing, and just keep it in a little log. Then when you go and pop along to the GP, just simply explain to them that you would like to speak about your mental health. If you take that log with you, then as they start to ask you questions and they start to speak to you, then you can refer back to that, and it's a great place to go back to, so then you can explain to them exactly what it is you're going through. Usually they'll be able to give you a little bit of advice and a little bit of help, and they may even just point you in the direction of therapy, things you can do by yourself, and different things that you can try. Don't be afraid to go and speak to your GP about your mental health. Although it feels strange going and speaking to a GP about something that physically can't be seen, they are able to help you and they are able to point you in the right direction. Okay, thank you very much for watching this video. This one was a little bit heavier than most of our other light videos, hence I've done it as a sort of vlog. I hope I have been able to give you a little bit of advice, and hopefully you've found this helpful. If you did, then let me know, and also while you're down there, just let me know in the comments if there are any particular topics you would like me to cover in any future videos. For now though, go and enjoy the rest of your day. Make sure to give us a thumbs up and hit the subscribe button, and we're always here if you would like to chat.